In a dramatic and unexpected turn of events that sent shockwaves throughout South Africa and reverberated across international borders, President Cyril Ramaphosa has officially stepped down from office. His resignation, announced during a hastily arranged press conference just outside the gates of Parliament, has left both his allies and critics in disbelief. The sudden departure has plunged the African National Congress (ANC) into turmoil, creating a destabilizing leadership vacuum at a moment already marked by political, economic, and legal uncertainty. According to reports, the shocking resignation followed an explosive and emotionally charged closed-door meeting between top ANC officials and President Ramaphosa himself. Senior party insiders revealed that the president faced an intense wave of dissent, as long-simmering internal divisions within the ANC erupted in full force. Several factions reportedly delivered veiled ultimatums, threatening to publicly disown him unless he agreed to step down. The growing unrest stemmed not only from corruption scandals and deteriorating economic conditions but also from mounting international legal scrutiny that had increasingly surrounded the presidency in recent weeks. At precisely 10:43 a.m., Ramaphosa emerged from the meeting with a stern expression, flanked by anxious security personnel and a handful of senior aides. Facing a crowd of reporters, he delivered a brief yet deeply emotional speech. After much contemplation and in the interest of our country and our cherished movement, I have decided to resign as President of the Republic of South Africa with immediate effect, he announced, his voice steady but somber. I can no longer lead a divided house or serve as the face of a movement that has lost its moral compass. His statement sent immediate ripples through the ANC, throwing the party into disarray. The ruling party, already fractured by power struggles, factionalism, and backroom deals, now found itself without a central figure of authority. Deputy President Paul Moshetel, seen by many as the natural caretaker, was reportedly abroad on an undisclosed diplomatic mission. Meanwhile, other senior ANC figures, including provincial premiers and members of the National Executive Committee, were themselves mired in scandal, leaving the party with no clear path forward or uncontested succession plan. Parliament too descended into chaos. Mere minutes after the president's announcement, opposition leaders demanded an emergency session. Heated shouting matches broke out across the parliamentary floor, with lawmakers trading accusations of betrayal and sabotage. A visibly overwhelmed speaker was ultimately forced to postpone the day's legislative agenda indefinitely. Opposition parties, particularly the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, and the Democratic Alliance, DA, seized the moment to demand a vote of no confidence in the ANC government. They argued that Ramaphosa's resignation was symptomatic of a deeper, systemic collapse. This is not an ordinary resignation, it is the implosion of the ANC's command structure, political analyst Zinol Sam told local media. Analysts warned that Ramaphosa's exit marked the beginning of a dangerous power vacuum at the heart of South African politics. The ANC, they said, had been teetering on the edge for over a year, but now faced truly uncharted territory, a leadership battle that could turn bitter and divisive. Nationwide, public reaction was mixed and emotionally charged. In major cities such as Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban, jubilant demonstrators flooded the streets holding banners that read, "Accountability at last" and "Time for change." Many viewed Ramaphosa's resignation as long overdue, citing his failure to deliver on promises of clean governance, economic reform, and job creation. Yet in townships and rural communities, the mood was far more apprehensive. "This is not what we wanted," said civil servant Turbo Lang from Soto in an interview with the Financial Times. "Yes, there were problems under Ramaphosa, but at least he gave us a sense of stability and legitimacy after the Zuma years. Now, the future feels frighteningly uncertain." Opposition figures quickly capitalized on the political vacuum. EFF leader Julius Malema released a fiery statement within hours, declaring, "The ANC has imploded. They are leaderless, corrupt, and directionless. The South African people must be allowed to choose a new government, one not imposed by corrupt elites and backroom deals. Malema called for immediate national elections, warning that any delay would further erode public confidence. DA leader John Steenhuisen echoed that sentiment, stating, "This resignation confirms what we've said all along, the ANC is no longer capable of governing in the best interest of South Africans. The only democratic solution is a snap election. Let the people decide who should lead us through this turbulent time." Internationally, the news made global headlines within hours. Major outlets such as CNN, BBC, and Al Jazeera featured the story prominently, with headlines reading, "South African President Resigns Amid Political Crisis." Financial markets reacted swiftly and negatively. The South African rand plummeted in early trading, and investors warned of further instability unless clarity about the nation's political direction was swiftly restored. Diplomatic reactions were cautious but optimistic. Officials from the United States, European Union, and neighboring African countries praised the peaceful and constitutional nature of the transition. The United Nations issued a concise but firm statement urging all political actors in South Africa to prioritize national unity and uphold democratic values. Within the ANC, the aftermath was chaotic. A crisis meeting of the National Executive Committee, NEC, was called for the following day. Party insiders revealed deep divisions among leaders. Some favored appointing an interim caretaker president, while others pushed for a national consultative conference that could trigger a sweeping overhaul of the party. Younger ANC members demanded a generational shift in leadership, while veterans warned that such a move could further destabilize the movement. Meanwhile, civil society groups, trade unions, and student organizations began mobilizing in response to the deepening uncertainty. The South African Council of Churches announced plans for a national day of prayer and dialogue, warning that the nation risked descending into further division if democratic leadership was not swiftly restored. The Congress of South African Trade Unions, COSATU, once a powerful ANC ally, issued a carefully worded statement expressing concern about the future of the economy and the protection of workers in what could become a post-ANC era. As dawn broke over a nation in turmoil, South Africans were left grappling with unanswered questions. With the ANC in disarray and Parliament effectively immobilized, speculation ran rampant. Would Deputy President Moshetel return in time to stabilize the government? Could the warring factions within the ANC unite behind a compromise leader? Or was the party destined to fracture beyond repair? One thing was certain, the resignation of President Cyril Ramaphosa had opened a new, uncertain chapter in South Africa's political history.